Pershing Square Holdings. Right, now what on earth are we talking about here? We're doing a nice change and looking at a listed entity in the United States of America. It's one of these closed-ended investment companies, but effectively what you get is an opportunity to participate in the hedge fund run by a very high-profile US-based investor called Bill Ackman. Some of the most visible big scraps going on globally with regard to stocks on the long short side of things. So he owns something called Allergan. He's got an investment in worldwide Burger King, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and most importantly a pharma company called Valiant. We'll talk about that one in a minute. It's been an absolute dumpster fire. On the short side, he's engaged in a mortal combat with people around a company called Herbalife, which, you know, makes that sort of supplements and so on. But this listed entity is listed in the US and also in Europe. It's got a market capitalization of about $3.34 billion, although the fund itself is larger. Rowan will explain this in a minute. So what effectively you do here is you buy in and the NAV of this entity tracks his fund.
100%.
So really this comes down to a guy that's been massively successful in the past but is currently having a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah. So this was a vehicle, I guess, to raise capital in a fairly innovative way because, most investors, especially small investors, would struggle to get access to an investment manager like Bill Ackman, and this way they can buy through a listed vehicle. They were able to raise significant capital, I guess, for the fund management operations of Pershing Square as well. But and it's a public see-through and look-through into the sort of investment activities of Bill Ackman, which is quite interesting, I guess, for observers as well.
Yeah.
So, but having said that, so it's been very high profile, and I think unfortunately the performance recently has actually been very poor, and that's really been as a result of this very poor performance in Valiant, which is very high profile.
So Valiant is kind of a roll-up pharma company. They were buying other companies, buying brands and so on, and then it just got more and more valuable because it talked a good story and it put business units together. But it seems to have come unstuck. A lot of debt now, and then the pharma sector came a bit, a cropper.
Yeah, so part of the strategy of Valiant, and had been pursued by other companies, they were buying these sort of end-of-life pharmaceuticals that were still fairly critical, and they were hiking up the prices significantly. So it was a type of price gouging. It was obviously very successful.
They were directly criticized by Hillary Clinton.
And that was, I think, the start of the share re-rating, that there were going to be regulations to try sort of limit these activities.
And then what about Herbalife? Ackman reckons that Herbalife is a Ponzi scheme, that it's one of these network marketing companies, the products are rubbish, but it's a company that has a lot of adherents, people carry on buying the products.
Yeah, so it has been. He's been very vocal and very public in his condemnation of the business. It has resulted in some SEC investigations in the company. It's become a bit of a sort of a high-profile hedge fund fight because you've had other hedge fund players
go
supporting
long the stock.
Exactly. So look, his investment thesis, I think, is very compelling, saying the bulk of the sales of Herbalife are generated in the network. So other participants in the network which would indicate that it is Ponzi-like.
I'm pretty sure the stuff's, does it work? Who knows? There you go. So there's Pershing Square. Now that's only since the time that they actually raised capital. That's not his long-term investment track record. But you can see it goes up, then it goes down. So now, it's all very sexy and exciting to watch these things and to read online about these hedge fund titans and the fights they're having. But seriously, is this something you would want to buy in an offshore market investment portfolio?
Well, I guess, you're buying into Bill Ackman's investment ability. Clearly, he's had a big problem with Valiant, and he's been buying it significantly on the way down.
Doubling down.
I guess if you haven't been in it, and you've got a sense that he does know what he's doing. I think I'd like to see some of the issues, and there are quite significant issues around Valiant circling at the moment. I'd like to see them sort of wash out a bit before I'd take a firm view right now.
So you'd say for the moment,
it's not hot.
Not hot. Yeah, I'd give it a definite not hot. That's just my style.